I'm going to do some meringues. Now meringues are so easy, but I think a lot of people veer away from it because it's always a bit unsure about cooking times or what it should look like or everything else. I'm going to show you a foolproof way of doing a meringue, and I've also been down to a local area and I picked some blackberry. I'm going to do some little blackberry top meringue nests. I've got my oven on now and it's on 100 degrees. It's got to be really low, and I'm going to lower it even further 10 minutes into baking the meringues, but I'll go into that in a second. So first things first, I am using organic eggs, organic free range eggs, which I bought. I am going to separate my eggs first. Now to separate an egg is quite an easy thing to do when you know how. And I am going to show you now. So I'm going to bring my phone down a little bit and I will show you on here. Now, if you get any yolk inside of this, which is where I'm going to put my egg whites, it will not work. Any fat inside here, any yolk will not allow your whites to erase. So I recommend separating each egg in a container first. So letting the white clip into there, having the yolk either in your hand or in your shell, whichever way you prefer, and then tipping it in. Then you're sure that if you get to the fourth egg and it breaks, you are not then wasting another 3 eggs. So all I'm going to do is, I do it this way. So what I do is I crack my egg, and you can do it either by, so I crack my egg into there, which I probably shouldn't have done that. Allowing the egg to pour between your fingers. Now if you don't like the feeling of that, I totally get that as well. Okay, so what I end up with is, I end up with the sunny yolk in my one pot, and I've got all of the white in another. I'm just going to put that into my bowl. Okay. Equally, you can do it this way. You can give it a good crack, and then what you can do is you can go from yolk to yolk, tipping it, shell to shell, sorry, not yolk to yolk, tipping it out. That's another easy way to do it. Either way, it doesn't make any difference. Put my yolk in there, don't want to waste them. The egg white, I dropped a bit on the side there, it doesn't matter. I am going to go like this way. I'm just going to pour it straight into my hands, which is what I should have done before. I don't know why I just cracked it in. Also pile it. Here we go. You need to get all of that white off. Now, if you're a bit squeamish, this is probably not the best way to do it. Or you've got a hangover. It's not funny. Oh, there we go. And again. Sometimes it just pours out so easy, sometimes it just needs a bit more encouragement. So there we go. Right, I've got my 4 egg whites there. Now I'm going to give my hands a little wash. So I'll speed aside. So now what I've done is, I'm going to move that out of the way. I have got my whisk here, and I'm going to put it on a low whisk, and I want to form it into soft peaks. I'm going to fast forward this, okay? So I'm going to do it, it's going to get noisy, so I'm going to fast forward it, and then I'm going to show you what soft peaks look like. Okay, so we'll see you in a second. So, soft peaks, there's my soft peaks. Okay, now the old way test, to test if this was okay, was to put it over your head. I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do that though. Okay, nothing falls out. It stays where it is, it's got so much air in it. Now this is what we need now in order to put it time and give each spoonful a whisk. What's going to happen is that it's going to weep inside the oven when it happens, and you're going to lose as well a little bit of crispiness and softness in the middle. So, just 1 spoonful at a time, whisk. 1 spoonful at a time, whisk. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to fast forward it up. I've got 115 grams of caster sugar and I've got 115 grams of icing sugar. I'm going to put the caster sugar in first, and I'm going to speed that up as well for you. Okay. Very messily, my sugar into my meringue. Now what you're looking for is a really glossy emulsion. That's what it basically looks like, you know, when you paint your house. It looks very similar to that. You don't want it to be, it's got to be like that. The other thing is that some people put a bit of corn flour into these. I'm not going to, I don't. Last time I done them, I didn't need it. Corn flour keeps it nice and sticky inside. But my mother-in-law swears by it, so it's entirely up to you. If you are going to put a bit of corn flour in, it won't do any harm. Just put like half teaspoon or teaspoon in, that's it. Okay, so, and you fill that in when you're doing your other bits and bobs with the sugar. So, I'm going to move all that to the side now, and I am going to clean up. I'm going to get the baking trays ready, and I will be with you. I've done my grease-proof tray, sorry. I'm going to get a dessert spoon of this gorgeous mixture, and I'm just going to dollop it on. Now, if you want to make little nests, which is what I'm going to try to do, I've never made a nest before. I'm going to have a little go, apparently all you do is just make sure they're a bit well spaced out. They're not going to rise or go any different, but just so if you're making nests, you want to be able to press it down in the middle. There we go. I want something for me gorgeous blackberries to sizzle. Now, apparently all you do is you just press it with the back of the spoon like that. Oh yeah. So there we go. Got a little bit on this there. Oh fab. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna press that down again that way. Gorgeous. Oh, there, lovely. So I'm gonna put all these now onto my tray like that, and then I'm gonna put them in the oven. I'm going to put them in a 100-degree oven for about an hour and a half. Really low, really consistent. Not open the oven door, just leave them to go. They won't burn, they won't do anything. Now I'm using an electric oven. If you're using a gas, it's just, I'm just working this out what your gas mark would be. Your gas mark will be, okay, quarter, says, yeah. So literally the lowest oven setting you've got. Right, so I will get back to you guys with the blackberries in a minute as well. Take care, bye-bye. Okay, so my meringues have now been in for nearly 2 hours. So they were in a 100-degree oven, and then I turned it down to about 90 degrees after 10 minutes, and I left them in there, and then even when the oven went off, I still left them in there. They didn't burn, and they're great. So this is what they look like, okay? You should be able to hear a little tap underneath, you know they're done then. So I've arranged mine in a bowl. So I've got 8 all together, which you can see there. And then what I've also got here is I collected 450 grams roughly of the blackberries, but what I'm going to do is I have got half of that and 2 bay leaves, which you've got, I'll be gone, I've got a little bay tree there. If you've got dried bay leaves, that's fine. I'll put them into there, and I'm also going to add a tablespoon and a half of sugar. Now, while doing this, I would like to apologise to my dentist, because she's so good, Miss Tulip, thank you, I'm sorry. However, just a little bit, and I'll make sure to brush my teeth afterwards. I know there's a lot of sugar in this, so I'm going to let that boil down a bit now, and I kind of want it to heat right through and soften. And I want the flavour of the bay to go into the blackberries, so I'm going to dissolve the sugar in there as well. What it looks like in the pan. So I'm going to let all that soften. I think it'll take about what? It won't take long at all. I think it'll, let's have a little look. A few minutes. It's broken down a little bit. I'm going to add the rest of my berries, which are here, into the pan. Excuse the noise, I've got a few of hanging down, wanting to eat the blackberries. I'm going to let all that start breaking down and the juice to come out. Add the rest of my berries, which are here, and I'm just going to pop them in. Now, I would also recommend wearing an apron. Why I took mine off, no idea. If the blackberry juice gets on your clothes, I don't think it'll come out. So I'm going to give them all a good mix. And then I'm going to just leave that to cool. I'm just going to take it off the heat and leave it to completely cool. Once it's cooled, I'm going to spoon it individually onto my meringue nests. I'm going to put a big dollop of whatever cream you want. I'm going to look for a dairy-free alternative. You can use whatever one you've got in the house, or you can even use ice cream if you want. That'd be delicious. And then I'll put a finish off. All I've done is I've let my blackcurrant and blackberries just set for a while in the pan, absorb all that gorgeous flavour from the sugar and the bay leaves. I've just spooned a little bit, not too much juice because you don't want to saturate the meringue. I've got my cream in the middle, which you can just dollop on yourself, and I've just topped them with a bit of icing sugar. It's delicious. So let me know how you get on, guys.